Question is the diagram shows a triangle and a quadrilateral. This is a triangle and this is a quadrilateral. Four-sided shape is always called a quadrilateral. All angles are in degrees. These angles are in degrees. For the triangle, show that 3a plus 5b is equal to 170. And for the quadrilateral, show that 9a plus 7b is equal to 310. Now to prove this one, we know that sum of three angles of the triangle is 180 degrees. So what should I do? I will add all these three angles. They will make 180 degrees. So 2a plus a plus 2b plus 3b plus 10 is equal to 180 degrees. Now 2a plus a is 3a. 2b plus 3b makes 5b. And take the 10 to the other side. It will be 180 minus 10. So that will show 3a plus 5b is equal to 170 degrees. That was required to prove. The next is for the quadrilateral, show that 9a plus 7b is equal to 310. Now we know that the quadrilateral has four sides. So sum of interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. So I will add all of them and they will make 360 degrees. 8a plus 3a plus 2b plus b plus 50 plus 4b minus 2a, that will be equal to 360 degrees. Now 8a then plus 3a, 11a minus 2a will be 9a. 2b plus b, 3b, 3b plus 4b, 7b. So that is plus 7b equals 360 degrees. So that was, sorry, this plus 50, take it to the other side, it will make minus 50. So finally, the required result we will get 310. And then part 3 is saying solve these simultaneous equations, show all your working. Now we have two simultaneous equations. This is the first simultaneous equation. This is the second simultaneous equation. We have to solve both of these to get the values of a and b. So this is 3a plus 5b equals to 170, and this one is 9a plus 7b, that is equal to 310 degrees. Now what we need to do is I will equate the coefficient of any one of a or b. This its coefficient I will make to make 9 I need to multiply this with 3, and this is already 9. So it will become, if you will multiply 3 to this one, it will be 9a plus 15b equal to 170. So multiply 170 with 3. We'll get 510. Now subtract them. When we will subtract, so all these signs will change. This will cancel. 7 minus 15b will be minus 8b. That is equal to 510. It's minus 510 plus 310. That is equal to minus 200. So b will be equal to minus 200 over minus 8 divided by minus 8 is 25. So b is equal to 25. This value of a you can put in any one of these equations. So I will put in this equation. Putting the value of b in 3a plus 5b, I will get 3a plus 5 into 25 equals to 170. So 3a plus 125 is equal to 170. Take 125 to the other side. So 3a will be equal to 170 minus 125. So 170 minus 145. So 3a will be equal to 45, and then a will be equal to 45 over 3, which is 15. So a is equal to 15 and b is equal to 25. That is our solution for these simultaneous equations. Then number 4 is saying find the size of the smallest triangle in the triangle. Now we have the value of a, value of b. Look at the triangle. In the triangle, the smallest side, the angle opposite to the smallest side will be smallest. As this side is smallest, so its opposite angle will be smallest. It means this angle is going to be smallest. So smallest angle is 2a. 2 into 15, which is equal to 30 degree. You can verify also. This is 15 plus 2 into b. Obviously, this will be greater than 2a. This is 3b plus 10 will be greater. So smallest angle in the triangle is 30 degree. I can write it. Smallest angle is equal to. All right. Next is solve the equation 6x minus 3 is equal to minus 12. So for that, it's simple linear equation. I can write 6x equal to minus 12 plus 3. 6x will be equal to minus 9. So x is minus 9 over 6, which in the lowest form I can write minus 3 over 2. That is minus 3 over 2, or even in the mixed number form you can write. Number C is rearrange this to make the y subject. When we have to make the y subject, first always if you have any bracket, remove the bracket. For writing, what we will do, we will remove the bracket. It will be 8x minus 2y equals to 5x minus 3. Now, all terms without y shift to the other side. So take 8x also to the other side. It will be, or you can say shift 2y to this side and all of these to this side. So I will have a 2y equals to 8x minus 5x plus 3. So 2y is equal to 3x plus 3. Take 3 common, x plus 1, and then y will become 3 into x plus 1 over 2. Because 2 when we will shift on the other side will divide. So we make the y subject. You can see now y is on one side of the equation while all other variables are constant or on the other side. So always whenever you have to make the subject, first step is must remove the bracket. After removing the bracket, then you can make your subject. Whatever variable you have to make the subject, shift it on one side of the equation and all other involved variable or constant shift to the other side of the equation. So a very simple question this was. Number D is simplify 27x to the power 9 whole power 2 over 3. 27 we can write 3 power 3 x to the power 9 whole power 2 over 3. Don't use calculator in this one, it is 2 marks and you must have to show your knowledge of indices. Now 3 power 3 I can separate it. You know, we have a b whole power n, that is a to the power n, b to the power n. So we can write it 3 power 3 whole power 2 over 3 times x power 9 whole power 2 over 3. This 3 3 So we will have 3 power 2 into x power 6 because 3 and 2 will multiply. So finally our answer will be 9x power 6. Part A is simplify. We have to simplify. So first, always whenever there is a fraction, to simplify the fraction, make factors. So to make the factor of this one, take x common, x plus 5 over, make the factor of this one, x square minus 5 square. So that is x into x plus 5 over, that will become x plus 5 into x minus 5 because two terms have square between them. So this formula we use a square minus b square, that will be equal to a plus b into a minus b. So x plus 5 will cancel with x plus 5, so that will be equal to x over x minus 5. So we'll write it x over x minus 5. Next, question number 3. If the table shows some values of y is equal to this, so complete the table. Very simple question. Just you have to write in place of x these values here. Whenever write x is equal to minus 1, so writing x is equal to minus 1, y will become minus 1 cube plus minus 1 square and then minus 5 into minus 1. Got 5. In the same way, put x is equal to 1. When you will put x is equal to 1, so it will be 1 cube plus 1 square minus 5 into 1. 1 plus 1 minus 5, that is minus 3. And then put x is equal to 3. When you will put x is equal to 3 in this one, so it will be 3 cube plus 3 square minus 5 into 3. 3 cube is 27 plus 9 minus 15. So 27 plus 9 minus 15, that will be 21. So it's 21. So now we have to, on the grid, draw the graph of this one from minus 3 to 3. Now to draw the graph, let me zoom it a little bit more so it will be easy for me to draw the graph. First, always we check the scale of the graph. If we look at the scale of the graph, horizontally each box is making 0.1 because 10 boxes are making 1. 10 boxes you can count are making 1. So each box is mean is 0.1. So horizontally each box is 0.1. Vertical scale, if we look at 10 boxes are making 5. If 10 boxes are making 5, so it means one box will be equal to 5 over 10, meaning 0.5. So one box is 0.5 in this case. Now keeping in mind the scale, let's first for minus 3, minus 3, y is minus 3. Okay, when x is minus 3, y is also minus 3. We know two boxes will make 1. So this is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So here we will have the first point. Then for minus 2, y is 6. For x minus 2, y is 6. Minus 2, this is 5. So 6 will be here. For x minus 1.5, y is 6.4. For x minus 1.5, y is 6.4. So this is 6. So 6.4 will be almost here. Then for x minus 1, y is 5. For x minus 1, y is 5. This one. For x 0, y is also 0. Make sure always when you look at the table, there should be no gap in the table. If there is a gap, then you will make the two parts separately. So in this one, there is no gap. Now x, for x1, we are having a x is equal to 1, so y will be minus 3. For x is equal to 1, y is minus 3. Again, it will be, sorry, that was 0.5, 1, 2, 3. So in the same way, it will be here. This is minus 3. Now for 1.5 minus 1.9, x 1.5 minus 1.9. So this is 1.5, 0.5 minus 1 minus 1.5, so almost here. This one. Then for 2, 2, 2y2. So it is 0.5, 1, also this is 2, 2 is here. Then for 2.5, 9.4, 2.5, 9.4. This is, you can say 10, 9.4 will be then approximately here. And for 3, 21. For x3, y is 21. So 21 is here. So just join these points, that will complete your graph. Let's join them. Join with free hands. I'm sorry, this portion went a little bit wrong from here. I need to correct it. The trend got a little bit wrong from here, but it's okay. I'm using an electronic pen when you guys will be using pencil. So always the grip on the pencil is more better than on a tab when we use an electronic pen. So we completed this graph also on the grid. Next, obviously, there are some questions about the graph. Use the graph to solve this equation. Now, this equation, if you compare, this is your original function, which is y is equal to x cubed plus x squared minus 5x. So it means this is y is equal to 0. And you know, y is equal to any constant. Whenever you have y is equal to any constant, it is always a horizontal line. As it is also y is equal to 0 is a constant, so horizontal line passing through y is equal to 0 means x-axis. So where this graph cuts x-axis, these are the 3 points where this graph cuts x-axis. Let me zoom even more. Yes, these are the 3 points. This is point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. So if I will take this one, what is this? Is 2.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2 points minus 2.75. This is minus 2.75. The other one 0. And then the last one is, I'll take the last one, that is 1.5, 6, 7, 8. So 1.85. So the third value is 1.85. The next is, by drawing a suitable tangent, find an estimate of the gradient of the curve at x is equal to 2. At x is equal to 2, this is x is equal to 2. This point is x is equal to 2. At x is equal to 2, you have to draw a suitable tangent. Let's say I have this line. You have to draw a suitable tangent. Tangent means the line that touches the graph at one point only. So you have to approximately, I draw that one. Again, there are some limitation with the electronic pen. So just know you need 2 points. 1 point you can take easily, any 2 points take and get, let me make it more clear a little bit, because there is some clarity that graph requires. So I'm sorry, it's better if I will make that one more clear so our values will be accurate values at least. Because from here the trend got a little bit disturbed. It's better I should make it more clear. Because as clear your graph will be, the more from here like this, and then finally this one. No, I think is more better. Now you have to draw the line which touch the graph at one point only. Hope so. In this way, make sure by moving, yes, yes, better, touching the graph at one point only. So now take the 2 points on this one. One of the point you can even consider the similar points where x is equal to 2. Let's say one of the point I'm taking this one, which is 1.9, and y is 0 on this one. And any other point, let's say I will take this point. The other point is this one is 2.4 and y is 5. So for these 2 points, find the gradient now. 1.9. So it will be 5 minus 0. The gradient will be 5 minus 0 over 2.4 minus 1.9. So will be 5 over 2.4 minus 1.9. So we'll give 10. So almost gradient is 10. I don't know how accurate that one is, but this will be the way when using the pen, you will have a more better grip, so you can solve this one. And then next is write down the largest value of k, integer k, so that the equation has 3 solutions. Now this one is y, so it means y is equal to k. Y is equal to k, a horizontal line. So it means if you draw a horizontal line like this one, if you draw a horizontal line, so you have to find the largest number for which it will have 3 solutions. So let's find these 3 solutions. Let's move it on the graph where it touch the graph. Yes, here is our graph. Oh, sorry. It's better if I make a line, new line. Let's suppose I'm going to draw a random horizontal line, then we'll adjust it accordingly. Let's suppose this is a horizontal line I draw. You can see it has only one solution. We have to check where it has 3 solutions. If I will bring it down, now it will have 2 solutions. At this point, it will have 2 solutions. But under it, it will have now 3 solutions. So this is the largest value where it has 3 solutions. Mean under it, coming below it, till this one, it will have 3 solutions. Because this is the least value where it will have 3 solutions. And then this is the largest value where it has 3 solutions. So in between, if I look at this one, what is this value where it has, after that it will have 3 solutions. If I will check this one is 5, 6. So it means 6 is the largest integer because we need integer. 6 is the largest integer where it will have 3 solutions. I will say k, the largest value of k is 6. If you are asked least value, then check where the least value, if bringing it down for the least value, we can also check. Least value will be on the side. Now next, is question number 4. The diagram shows a field A, B, C, D on a horizontal ground. This field is shown. There is a vertical point C, vertical post at C. Okay, at C, there is a vertical post. From B, the angle of elevation of the top is 19 degrees. This one is 19 degrees. Find the height of the post. We need to find the height of, as it is vertically above, so this one is 90 degrees. Okay, let's say this point is P. To find this one, if I consider this triangle BCP, so take this triangle ABC. If I will make this triangle, sorry, BCP, this angle is 19 degrees. So this one is, it mean opposite. This is hypotenuse, and this one is adjacent. So I have this one. This is 107. So it mean I can say opposite over adjacent. It is tangent. So tangent of 19 degree for part A. Tangent of 19 degree will be equal to this PC over BC. So if I will take this, I need to find PC. So PC will be BC time tangent of 19 degree, which is 107 time tangent 19 degree. So will be 107 time tangent 19 degree. That is 36.84. That you can round to 36.8. Part A done. Now part B is use the cosine rule to find BAC. We have to use cosine rule to find this BAC. This angle we need to find. Now using cosine rule, whenever we have to find any angle, I have these three sides already for this one. I can use, for example, I have to find this one. So cosine rule in that case will become cos of this angle B will be equal to the sum of squares of the two sides, which is not opposite to this one. So mean it will be equal to 158 square plus 107 square minus 132 square divided by 2 into 158 into 107. So if I will calculate it, I will get, and finally B will be equal to cos inverse of all that value. Let's calculate it now. Taking cos inverse of 158 square plus 107 square minus 132 square divided by 2 into 158 into 107. So 55.83 degree. So B is equal to 55.83, which you can round to 55.8 degree. So we found the angle B also. I'm sorry, I should find this angle, but I found this angle. It was asked to find BAC. But doesn't matter. Maybe using the cosine rule, you can find BAC in the similar way. If you have to find BAC, then in that case, you need to find this angle, which is angle A. To find angle A, what you will do, you will write cosine of BAC will be equal to, now you will consider these sides, this square plus this square and minus this square. Any 158 plus 132 minus 107 square over 2 158 into 132. So BAC will be cos inverse of this whole. Let's calculate now. Sorry. Let's calculate now cos inverse 158 square plus 132 square minus 107 square over 2 into 158 times 132 is 42.12. That is 42 degree approximately, 42.1 degree. The next is use the sine rule to find CAD. Now using sine rule, you have to find this angle CAD, this angle. Now if I will use the sine rule says that 132 over sine of this one will be equal to 86 over sine of this angle. So you can write 132 over sine of, that is 116, equals to 86 over sine of CAD. So if you need to find the CAD will be, now sine of CAD cross multiply from here. So 132 will be with this 132 equal to 86 into sine of 116. So finally sine CAD will be equal to 86 into sine 116 over 132. So CAD will be equal to sine inverse of this all value. Let's calculate this. It will be sine inverse 86 into sine of 116 divided by 132. That is 35.84. So 35.84, which you can round to 3 significant 35.8. Usually for angle, 1 decimal place. And then finally calculate the area of the field. We need to find the area of the full field. This is complete field. I need to remove the other extra work, so will be easy for you to understand. Okay, to find the area of this field, what we need to do, there are two triangles. There are two triangles. First this triangle and then this triangle. For this triangle, to find the area of this triangle, I need to find this angle also, because you know we have, if we have a triangle and two sides are there, so the angle between them we need, and this angle we already found, so easily we can find the area. For example, what will be area of this triangle? Area of this triangle, if I have to find, I can write it 1 over 2, multiply these two sides, 158 times 132, sine of angle between them. What this angle we found already. In this part we found it 42.1. So this sine of 42.1 degree, that will be area of this one. Now to find the area of this one, we need this angle also. This angle we can easily find. How we can find this angle? 180 minus 116 minus this angle CAD. Right now we found it 42 point. No, that was 35.8. So minus 35.8. So let's subtract it. One second, what happened? Okay, 180 minus 116 minus 35.8. So it is 28.2. So this angle is 28.2. It means what will be area of this one? Area of this one will be 1 over 2, 132 into 86 sine of 28.2. So that will be the area of this part. So just add both of these to get the total area. So finally total area, if I will found, total area will be in that case this 1 over 2. 1 over 2 means 0.5. 0.5 times 158 times 132 times sine of 42.1 is this one, and then after that you can say 0.5 multiply 132 multiply 86 multiply sine of 28.2 is this one. Add both. No, I think. However, whatever this was 66991 point something, and this came as 27 point something. Uh, yeah, it was 2682. So add them. That will be your answer for this part.